Hey, Chef. Happy Monday.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How was your weekend?
It was good. Busy.
All right.
Busy
Good.
weekend.
I love it when you roll a citrus. What are you doing?
So I'm just rolling these so that we can get more juice out of them.
Okay.
So when you roll them like that, or you can run them under hot water, but they're a lot juicier that way.
Actually, one of the first things you taught me on this show, and now I'm very good at rolling my own citrus. It's
There
not
you go.
hard.
It's all right.
Hard.
It's not.
If you have to run right now, hopefully you don't. You can watch the whole show, but you can catch us at our after party, which is a podcast that we do called The Leftovers. I love the name title.
It is.
You can get it wherever you listen to podcasts, Stitcher, Apple. Just Google Springer Mountain Farms Network, and you will see our podcast pop up.
Is that where
Leftovers.
it is?
Yes. When are you going to listen to it?
I don't know. I need to listen to it.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious. But it's good. It's fun, and it recaps the show. Let's tell people what we're cooking today.
So we're actually going to do a shish kebab. So we're going to do chicken and feta, and we're going to make a little Yemeni-style hot sauce called Schug, and we're going to serve it on a flatbread.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. I didn't know how to pronounce half the things in this recipe, so I'm very excited to learn all about it. There's a picture of it, and we will be making it in just a few seconds. I'm Cara Kneer, journalist, wife, host, and a mother of two. I'm joined by Chef Brian Carson, who has over 15 years of culinary experience. Together, we're going to take the mystery out of everyday ingredients you can find at Earth Fare. This and more on today's Cooking with Earth Fare. Hey everyone, welcome to Cooking with Earth Fare, brought to you by Springer Mountain Farms. I'm Cara Kneer. I'm so excited for the show today. It's Monday. How's everybody feeling? Good? Yes. We have a live studio audience. Thank you for coming, ma'am. Hopefully it'll fill up a little bit more. But if you can't make it to Cumming, Georgia, a little north of Atlanta, where we are in an actual Earth Fare, please watch us online. There are so many ways to watch us. You can go to Facebook and go to Springer Mountain Farms Facebook page. You can go to Earth Fare's Facebook page. You can go to Cooking with Earth Fare's Facebook page. You can go to YouTube. You can go to Springer Mountain Farms Roku channel. There are so many ways you can see this show. And you don't want to miss it because it is a show about taking a secret ingredient and making it into a delightful dish that is delicious, quite frankly. And this is our 23rd episode of season 2. So we have all the recipes, that's what it's called, archived on SpringerMTN.com. So we hope you'll check it out. We hope you'll cook along with us and ask questions. You can ask questions by going to Slido.com, enter hashtag Cooking with Earth Fare, ask us a question. It pops up right here on my handy dandy tablet, and then I can ask Chef. You can ask about the recipe today, or you can ask about any cooking quandary that you might have. Please let us know. We love chatting with you now. We love chatting with you all week long. So keep in touch with us. We're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, Cooking with Earth Fare. That's where you can find us. Let's get to the recipe. Without further ado, let me introduce the man with a plan, Chef Brian Carson. Hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's great.
Okay, let's unveil the secret ingredient first because we always tease it.
Right.
People are usually right. Sometimes people are wrong. We don't
Sometimes
judge here.
we've had a lot of good guesses though.
We do. We get a lot of guesses, and that's what we want. And the secret ingredient today is
Jalapeños.
jalapeños.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things.
They're-
I like a little kick. I like a little spice.
Me too. And today we're actually going to be making these feta and chicken shish kebabs.
Okay.
But we're actually going to make.
Call 911.
I'll take that in
Oh,
just a
yes,
minute.
yeah.
We're actually going to be making a Yemeni-style hot sauce called Schug. So
Okay.
Schug it's pronounced and spelled several different ways. You might
Sure.
see it as SH or SCHUG, ZHUUG. So it's kind of a thing that is very predominantly found in Middle Eastern cuisine, but it does originate from Yemen.
Okay.
And it's a very
Say it again. Schug.
Schug.
Not Schug, as I was saying.
Not like
Schug.
you would call your sister like, hey,
Yeah,
Schug.
hey, Schug,
You know?
no.
No, it's Schug.
That's not right.
So we're gonna jump right into that, but first I wanted to show you
Okay.
how we're going to do this.
Okay.
So
all
we're
right.
gonna hold off on our jalapenos, which jalapenos are one of my favorite peppers to play with because a lot of times they're not very spicy.
Right.
And we'll talk about that in a little bit and how to avoid if you don't want the spice but you want the flavor.
Right.
So we'll get to that in just a second.
Well, I think as you become more familiar with peppers too, you realize that jalapenos aren't really that spicy, but when
No.
you're inexperienced with peppers, you think, oh, a jalapeno, it's so hot, but it's
Right.
really not.
No,
it doesn't
and
have to be.
I am a horrible judge when people ask me if something's hot. I never answer the question because I'll eat something that'll melt your face off and be like, yeah, I mean, it wasn't even hot. And they're like,
Is that
oh my
a
God, they're
challenge?
dying
Are
over
you
there.
challenging me? Should we challenge Chef Brian?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, all right.
If you got something out there you think's too hot for me to eat, let me know.
Okay, let's hear about it. Go to Slido.com. Hashtag Cooking with Earth Fair. How hot can Brian taste? Can he survive?
Taste, well, the taste goes away after a while, but you can definitely survive. So,
Okay.
one of the things that I love about here at Earth Fair is that we can go and they have all these things, and we've talked about several different products that they package up for you, so you can get a little bit or a lot of it. So I think we used the fresh mozzarella ovalines
Yes.
last a couple of weeks ago in a recipe. It was great. So we're kind of going back to that whole cheese selection counter. They sell these beautiful chunks of feta right in the brine for you, so you can get a little one or a big one.
Okay.
For this recipe, we want kind of a relatively large chunk, because what we're gonna do is we've got some chicken breasts here
Okay.
that are cut in kind of like 1 inch by 1 inch squares. So we're just gonna match that with the feta. So we want that way everything cooks evenly, and it's gonna make a really nice presentation as well.
That looks
Did you wanna
nice.
try some of this feta?
I sure do.
Yeah. Here,
Yeah,
try that.
thank you very much.
You wanna give some to the audience at all?
Sure.
Yeah, we could do that. I got a little
Let's get
bowl here.
Let's get a little bowl.
Here we go. Just break it up. The one thing I'll say that weird, or not weird, but the crazy thing to me about feta is that you can do things like we're gonna do today and grill it,
I'll be back.
or you can fry it, and it actually will just kind of get a caramelization on the outside, and then it'll be nice and melty and ooey gooey on the middle, which is what we're gonna get out of this recipe today. So like I said, I'm just gonna cut these really quickly.
It's very good.
And the reason I'm building these first is because we're actually gonna use that hot sauce, the Schug, as kind of a marinade. So we're gonna build these, place them in our pan, pour some of that sauce over them. It's gonna add a lot of flavor. It's gonna add a little bit of spice, a little bit of salt, all those things, and a lot of herbaceousness.
What is the difficulty on this dish? 1 to 10, 10 being most difficult.
This is very easy. This
All
is,
right.
I would say this is maybe
That's
a
what he
2.
says. Oh, a 2, all right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we're gonna just take our skewer. Now, if we were grilling outside, like on a real flame, you'd
Sure.
wanna soak these in water. Whoop.
Okay, gotcha.
Not that one. I
Okay.
got another one right here. But you would want to soak them in water, so because the open flame will catch on the bamboo on fire.
Okay.
So we don't have to worry about
That is a good
that.
tip. That's a good pro tip.
Yeah, we don't have to
Light
worry about
fires.
that here because we're using a nice cast iron grill pan.
All right.
So we're just going to layer these guys, not all the way to the
Just
end.
don't mind if I do.
There you go.
Well,
With chicken and cheese, and just alternate back and forth.
oh, that looks amazing already.
Yeah, and it's like, well,
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't eat the raw chicken
no,
part,
no,
but
no, don't do that.
yeah, outside of that, they do look great.
Okay, we already have a question from
Beautiful.
James. James, thank you so much for the question. He wants to know what kind of oil should we use?
So we're actually just gonna use pan spray. We're gonna use a nice little canola pan spray. We've got Earth Fair brand. That's all you
just show
need.
it
You
to
don't need olive oil. You don't need canola oil. This should be super easy, super quick. It will take a little bit for the chicken to cook, but outside of that, this is kind of just a fun thing. And this is something like you could have the kids help.
Right.
You know, you get the kids in there, building skewers, hopefully not poking each other.
No, well, that could happen too.
And that happens.
It's
It happens. You can't give kids pointed sticks and not expect somebody to get
Occupational
poked. That's right. So I'm almost done with these.
Now, would you recommend putting anything else on this, or is
Totally.
this pretty
You
traditional?
No, I wouldn't even
for
say
the
this
dish?
is traditional.
Okay.
Because that might just aggravate some people.
Okay.
This is just a version of something that I really enjoy. I like feta. I like chicken, grilling them up, and I really love the sauce. And the thing is like the sauce lasts. So you can make this sauce and keep it in the fridge. Oh, my cheese broke on that one.
That's right. For how long? Could you freeze
could-
it? Well, you wouldn't need to.
I mean, you wouldn't need to.
Right.
But I will say, it'll keep for probably a week or so, but after that, what happens is the citrus starts to kind of dull out.
Okay.
So the flavor kind of might dispense on that. But outside of that, so we got a little bit of, I think I can make this guy work.
Sure.
Boom, perfect. All right. So we're just gonna save those little nubbins of chicken.
Okay.
That's a very specific term to nubbin.
So this is also something you could make the jug
Jug.
ahead of time.
You could
Okay.
absolutely. Or you could have some left over and make this recipe twice in a week.
All right.
That's my style.
Both really good options.
Right. So from here, we're gonna start on the jug.
Okay.
So,
I want to ask you another question really quick from Jill. Hey Jill, thank you for the question. For those who don't care for feta cheese, is there an alternative cheese you recommend? Good
so
question.
with grilling cheese, this is the one I've really played with. I haven't tried to grill many other cheeses. There is one cheese that I did test for a recipe, and I cannot remember the name of it right now.
I was trying to think of a cheese that wouldn't melt upon.
Right,
Like, it wouldn't give you that melty consistency when you heat it up.
You could get like a piece of Parmesan hot like that because it's a semi-hard cheese, but it wouldn't eat the same.
What about like a Asiago or something?
Same thing. I mean, it'd be, what happens with those semi-hard cheeses when you grill them is that the fat starts to leach out. If you've ever left cheese out on the counter or something, you've seen it, the fat starts to leach out, and then therefore it gets this real weird kind of like spicy thing going on.
Well, you could omit the cheese altogether and still just enjoy the chicken and the sauce and put some vegetables on.
You could put mushrooms on these. You could put vegetables, any kind of vegetable on these. Plenty of options there.
Okay. All right. Thank you for the question, Joe.
So we're going to revisit our jalapenos because that's going to be our main spice and flavor that's coming out of the Schug. So I'm going to get my paring knife here. So like I said, I told you I would show you again how to kind of avoid the hot if you don't want the hot.
Okay.
So the spice in jalapenos all comes from, and in most chilies, comes from the seeds and this membrane in the middle here.
Sure.
So if we take these, kind of split them open like that, lay our knife flat, we can actually cut that out. Oh, and try not to throw it on the floor.
Okay.
But you can cut that membrane out and use, scrape your seeds off and use just this part, and then you're just gonna get a ton of the jalapeno flavor without the spice.
Got it. Okay, that's a perfect timing. You and Kathy, who are watching, who ask questions every week. Hey, Kathy, thank you for watching the show. We so appreciate you. She was just saying, if you don't love spicy food, how do you knock the spice factor down in this dish? And really, you just answered it.
Yeah, and you could totally, I would say, I think I made the green garlic or garlic and green scallion sauce on a recipe in one of the shows before. This recipe would work perfect for that too. You could use that. That's another instance in where I make a sauce and kind of use it as a marinade as well. So there's a ton of things that you can just take citrus and herbs and put them in a blender, and you're gonna have something that's gonna make whatever you soak in it more delicious. So that's the kind of key here, is that, again, continuing to cook and kind of having fun with it and kind of finding out what you like. But yeah, I would totally say jalapeno, not really any spice at all. If you remove the seeds, even less. So also,
Kathy's like, I think it's really spicy.
I've also found that, like, usually, and I know this sounds crazy, but typically larger jalapenos are less spicy. So these guys are kind of small, so they might actually surprise me and be a little hotter today than I'm expecting.
A little heat. All right, I'm gonna get my Cara cam while you do the rest of this technique. Now, if you wanna watch other technique videos on cooking and whatnot, these knife skills is what I meant to say, not cooking. Those will be slowly rolling out across our platform too. So if there's something that you want to see Chef do, please let us know. If there's an ingredient that you want to see him cook with in particular, also let us know that, because we love your feedback.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Now, I will say this. Today on this recipe, we are making Schug, so it is hot sauce. So I'm only going to de-seed 2 of these peppers. And that's just for the sake of showing you how to do it. If I was making this at home, I would definitely have probably twice as many. Another thing you could do is you could also sub like a Cubanelle pepper or a banana pepper, something like that, that's already going to be very mild. Okay. And then you wouldn't even have to really worry about the seeds or the membrane.
All right, well, don't hold out on me. Account of me, Chef.
Oh, no. I'm getting spicy. We're getting spicy.
All right, another question from Amanda. Hey, Amanda. She says she loves jalapeno poppers because they're so easy to make. However, there are so many recipes out there. What kind of jalapeno popper is Chef Brian's favorite? Good question.
So I like to make ones with Neufchâtel, which is basically like a fancy cream cheese. It's got a little, they actually have it here at Earth Fare branded.
They have most things.
But it's delicious. It's got like a little more acid to it than cream cheese does. So it really kind of elevates everything that you would normally use cream cheese for. It takes it up to the next level. But I take those and I kind of get the big jalapenos, split them in half, put a smear of that in there, and then wrap them in bacon. And then just grill them that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Amanda, let us know what you use. Doesn't that sound delicious?
And that way you get like crispy bacon on the outside, and you can finish them in the oven. You can even make them in the oven if you have to.
Okay.
So that's my favorite way to go.
All right.
It's also really good if you do that with quail.
Sounds good. Yes.
All right, so I reserved some parsley because we're going to use some later for a little bit of a garnish. But basically, we've talked about this in the show before. Parsley and cilantro both are in this recipe, and they both have flavor all the way through the stem. So we're going to just take this, tear it in half, and in it goes.
Okay. We don't waste here on the show.
No.
We do not.
Why would we?
Nope.
It would be a waste.
No need. Nope. Don't do that. Cook for us, too. We want to see your pictures. We try to post the finished dish on Instagram, but we want to see your pictures on Instagram. And you can win a $25 gift card to Earth Fare if you post this recipe, any previous recipe. Here's some other viewers' picks. We have some talented viewers out there trying out the dishes. You can get the recipes on SpringerMTN.com, this one or any of the previous ones. And if you're watching now and you're thinking, I don't know the exact metrics of what Chef Brian is doing, they're all on SpringerMTN.com.
Yeah. And that's just because we kind of have to cook by the seat of our pants here.
Right.
You know?
Me too.
So if I was sitting here measuring everything out, you'd be kind of bored of watching me scoop things every 5 minutes. So what we're going to do, we've got that stuff in the blender. We've got some garlic.
Okay.
And we're actually, I've talked about this before, but you might sometimes get chunks of garlic that have a little dried up stem end. You just want to cut that off. Get that out of there.
Have you seen the viral video of people just shaking the leaves off the garlic? Is that real?
Yeah, you could take like a large jar or a bowl,
Thought it was
and you could put the garlic with the skin on it and shake it around. It'll actually knock it all off.
It will?
Yeah.
Oh. I was like, this can't be real. Seems too easy. Now, also another question. Do you have a trick for getting the smell off your hands? With jalapenos, the spice, with garlic, the smell?
With spice, a little bit of oil.
Okay.
So with spice, what I do is like when I'm washing my hands, I'll put a little bit of like canola oil on my hand and then go into washing them because the oil will bind to the oil from the jalapeno and take it with it when you wash it away. So if like you're using like, you know, Dawn or a degreasifying, degreaser style soap. Yeah. So.
All right, good to know.
We got like 3 or 4 cloves of garlic in there. We're gonna start adding some lemon juice because the lemon juice, we need that lemon juice to go.
Yes, please.
To get, to add the liquid so that it'll spin in the blender.
Right.
So we really need to have that. And you could use lemon juice from a bottle. Let
me try.
Yeah, get one. Oh, you gotta do it the other way or you're gonna get the seeds in there.
Oh, well, what do you mean?
You gotta hold it like this so that your hand catches the seeds.
Oh, I'm so weak. I'm so weak, you guys. You're so strong.
Yeah.
I can do that. Baby's taking on my strength. I can't do it. Oh, I got a seed in there, I think. Excuse me. Can I get it out?
Yeah.
It's not. Sorry. I don't want to get seeds.
You're not gonna hurt anything.
All right. My hands are clean. Okay. That was an epic fail.
Here, you want to wipe your hands off?
I'm good. I like the smell.
Yeah, no, I
nice.
mean, lemon is another one of those things, like, if you're talking about the smell of garlic, lemons totally do that.
That's
so
what I've
it'll
heard
take
that
that away. Also, some people get those, like, the metal soap bars that they use for, like, getting the smell of fish and stuff off your hands.
Somebody gave me that for a gift one time. It does work.
Yeah. So you can also use salt and water. So, like, when you use, like, if you have, like, fish or something like that, it kind of basically micro abrases your hand and kind of takes that top layer of funk off there.
All right.
So we're gonna look and see if we should have enough lemon juice in there to make this guy go round.
All right.
And if not, we'll just add a little bit more. And always, we could always add just a touch of water if we needed to as well.
Okay, I like it.
I'm gonna turn this down. It's gonna be pretty loud.
That's good.
All right. So what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna push this down a little bit. It's not quite catching.
If you don't have a Vitamix at home, because they are pricey.
Yeah. I don't even have Vitamix at home. I have
what do you have?
A Ninja blender.
Oh, a Ninja. A lot of people have those.
All right. We're gonna add a little bit more lemon juice.
Okay. That was from my poor squeeze.
It
would have worked.
I don't think that's what caused it at all.
My poor squeeze.
I also could have cut up the herbs a little bit, but I didn't.
Another question coming in. Are red jalapenos hotter than green ones? I didn't even know there were red jalapenos. Did I know that? Yes, I did. We used to grow them in our yard.
Yeah, so actually, the funny thing is, like, all peppers start out as green. So, like, that's why if you've ever noticed, like, bell peppers in the grocery store, red ones and yellow ones are more expensive. It's because they stay on the plant longer. Oh. That's the only reason. So, like, the peppers, if you leave them on the plant long enough.
But they're different peppers. It's not the same pepper, just getting.
Right, but also red and green bell peppers come from the same family.
Got it.
So you just leave them on there long enough and they will turn different colors. Jalapenos, if you leave them on, they turn red.
Right. Okay.
So red and green peppers
are the
same.
other, or no?
No, I
Same
mean,
amount of
that's what I'm saying.
sweetness?
Like with bigger jalapenos, I find that they're milder.
Okay.
Now you will see a pepper that looks a lot like a jalapeno that's red, more conical. It's called a Fresno. Now that's a little bit spicier than like a Cubanelle or a banana pepper.
Okay. That was from Eric on Facebook. Thank you so much, Eric, for watching and for your question. We appreciate it.
We're gonna get this.
We're gonna get this going.
It's gonna
and this
go.
is all for the Schug.
Yeah.
Just keep repeating that so I remember how to say it.
And usually I have a little plunger guy, but very carefully, don't try this at home.
Okay. He's a professional chef, ladies and gentlemen. We don't recommend this. It's like putting your tongs down the disposal.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yep.
Sorry. That's why I use the metal one.
With Earth Fair. We're going to try to get to 100,000 views on Facebook. Chef Brian loses an appendage.
No,
Just kidding.
never,
He would
never
do
would I
that.
lose
Just
an
kidding.
appendage.
You probably shouldn't say that to a chef.
No, please don't, especially while I'm using a piece of equipment.
I'm sorry.
All right, I'm gonna have to get a little bit of water.
Okay.
Can we get a little bit of water?
Water. I'll get it. That's what I'm here for. Where do I
So,
go?
see, oh, now look, you walk away and it wants to catch. Anyway. Nope, enough gas, still didn't work.
Okay.
That's all right, watch this. This is gonna change the whole thing. Everybody's gonna be like, oh, wow. Oh, look.
There we go. Is that enough?
That's it. Because this isn't like really loose, it's gonna be very kind of pasty.
Okay.
And that's it.
What's just in there? Parsley, lemon.
Parsley, lemon, garlic, and then also cilantro. And then we're gonna season that right now with a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm gonna get your help.
Okay, excellent. Through the top,
Yeah, just pop the top off.
like a big pinch.
Oh yeah, like a big pinch. Because this
Okay.
is, like I said, this is our kind of our marinade as well as our sauce.
Do that. Okay.
So I've already had the grill pan on. So I'm gonna just spray it with some of the nonstick spray.
On a medium heat, the grill pan, or no?
So I've got it up at a medium right now, but we're
Okay.
gonna turn it up to high.
Okay.
So we want, because we
smells
are
good.
grilling. So now we've got our jug.
Okay.
I will. Oh,
It's a
hold
really
on.
pretty color too.
I forgot. We got to add some stuff too.
Okay.
So I did forget. We got to add a little bit of cumin and a little bit of caraway.
Okay.
So sorry, I got distracted with this
It's
mixer.
all right.
So we're gonna add a little bit of cumin. I think it's about a teaspoon in the recipe. And then caraway. Now a lot of people probably don't use caraway a lot. Caraway is what makes rye bread the flavor of rye bread, right?
Okay.
So it also is kind of, we were talking about it before the show and I was like, kind of smells like spicy
Smell.
licorice.
It's what I was named
But it's-
after.
that's what
I'm
you were
just
named
kidding.
after?
No, it was spicy licorice. But that does smell
So-
like rye bread. Is what it's
Yeah, and what this does is just gives it a little bit more depth. It's really good. It's got a ton of flavors. Cumin is one of those spices that I use all the time. We've actually done several recipes with cumin in it here, like the taco bowl
Sure.
and other stuff like that.
Yeah, let us know if you use caraway seed in some of your dishes at
Right.
home.
So you see, if
be
you look in
interesting.
here with the camera, you can see what I was talking about how it's like kind of pasty. It's not gonna be, it almost looks like pesto, you know? So,
Very pretty. Okay, put that right on.
oh yeah.
This is very exciting.
And what we're gonna
Okay.
do is I'm gonna put on a glove
All right.
and I'm just gonna roll them around in it just to make sure we get it all over, because like I said, it is a marinade. Ooh, very carefully.
Well, I was
try
just
not
gonna say, how gentle do you have to be because the cheese.
Well, that was that one piece that I'd
That was
broken
little,
and then
yeah.
kind of like turned it and put it on there
Just gonna move
again.
This for you.
Oh yeah,
It smells very herbaceous.
it is. So we're gonna go right on the grill pan, just
Okay.
like that. And that's what we should hear, nice hard sizzle. That's why we're using high heat. And if it breaks, if the cheese breaks, just slide it back on there a different way. It'll kind of, it will kind of play with you to kind of be a little bit gentle. But also, if this falls apart on the grill, that feta is not gonna like melt away. So don't worry about it. If it breaks, if it falls off, we're taking this off of the kebab at the end anyway, but I wanted you to see it, like these little chunks, just throw them right on there. You don't have to worry about the stick itself. It just makes turning and cooking and all that stuff a lot easier with them.
Smells so good.
Yeah, and so you're starting to smell that garlic. You're smelling that cilantro. You're smelling that parsley and lemon as well.
Any questions from the audience? You guys good? Okay. Just to remind everyone, we do have a mic in the studio.
There's a guy named Mike here?
Yeah. Bring one out, Mike. No. We do, because we want you guys to ask questions too. If you have anything you're curious about that Chef Brian's doing, let us know online or in the store.
So I just took the rest of that out of here because we're going to use a little bit. Because what we're going to do in the end here is we're making like a flatbread. So this is like a sandwich, something you could eat very easily. So I'm just going to clean up my stuff here.
All right.
And get us organized because we do have another condiment to make, which is just a little bit of yogurt sauce.
Okay.
And this is just for those people out there who don't like spicy. You put this on there, it tones everything back a little bit, but it also offers its own flavors.
Excellent. I love a good yogurt sauce.
Me too.
But I just always assumed that cooking this way or making your own yogurt sauce would be difficult.
Right,
But
and
you're proving that it's not.
It's not. And I will say that yogurt sauce, like we're gonna make, like I'm not gonna call it a tzatziki, but it's kind of similar to that.
Sure.
After a couple of days in the fridge, it gets a little bit too flavorful, if you know what I mean. So we're putting garlic and raw onion in there. So if it sits in the fridge for a couple of days, it can get like the onion gets really strong. So you get that like, nobody likes that flavor, like BO kind of going on.
Yeah, no.
Nobody wants that.
No thanks.
No. So what we're gonna do, a little bit of red onion, just peeled. That's all I've done. A little bit of garlic, just chopped. Oh, look. I ended my streak of keeping my apron clean.
Can't be perfect.
Can't be perfect. So we got a little bit of chopped garlic.
Okay. And this is going in the bowl with what is already
So
in
this
here.
is just like a cup of Greek yogurt.
Okay.
Just plain. Don't mess around. Don't mess up and get vanilla, because then your yogurt sauce. Yeah, your yogurt sauce will come out really weird.
Right.
You'll be like, what is this savory dessert business?
So sweet.
Yeah. So one thing I will say is I'm about to cut these onions really, really thin. And I want you to know at home that they don't have to be that thin. You could mince them. You could cut them another way if you want to.
Okay.
But
sounds like an opportunity for a carrot cam shot, just in case. Oh, wait, what am I doing? Just kidding.
You're looking for like a nice shaved
Oh gosh,
onion.
Be careful. It's very fast.
But you want them to be that way. You want them to be almost translucent.
Okay.
Because we want them, what's going to happen is the acid in the yogurt's going to kind of break them down.
Okay.
And we're actually going to add a little lime juice too. And what's going to happen is they're going to get soft. And so when you put them in that sauce, they just are another bit of particulate for you to see, but also be able to have that flavor. And they're going to add a little bit of a crunch. So when you get into the yogurt sauce, you'll get these little pieces of onion. You'll get that little crunchiness of raw onion. It's good stuff.
So the green sauce you can make in advance. You can
Yes.
keep it in the fridge for quite amount of time.
Oh, yeah.
This you want to make more fresh.
Yes.
Yes.
I would say if you're going to make this recipe twice, you would want to make that fresh for sure.
Okay. That's
So we're
looking
just
good.
giving these guys a little bit of a flip and kind of monitoring our heat. You'll notice that because we're using the grill pan, we get a little bit of a hot spot in the middle. That's typical. What we're going to do is you'll see these two in the middle are getting done a little faster. We'll rotate them to the outside and move the others in.
Okay.
And you see how the feta is like getting these nice little caramelized pieces and edges to it, but it's still holding strong. That's what I was talking about. That's beautiful about grilling feta, and also why you can just throw that stuff on there and not worry about it.
I like it, Chef. Looks good.
So what we got, remember we saved a little bit of parsley and cilantro.
Okay.
So we're gonna save a few leaves of cilantro for the final plate. We're gonna take the parsley, break it in half, kind of fold it over. We're gonna clump all this stuff together because we're just gonna chop all this up. So get us a nice tight little grip on it.
All right. This is nice.
And then you end up with a nice chopped parsley cilantro mix. super easy. And then.
And obviously, if you can't get your cuts to look like
Yeah,
Chef Brian's,
always.
It's gonna taste the same.
It is.
It's about having fun in the kitchen.
It really is.
Don't worry about the technique.
Right. And that's the thing, is like, it's about what you like. You know, I personally like to shave garlic in all my dishes. I don't really ever chop or mince garlic because when I eat garlic, I love knowing that I'm eating garlic. Like, I love, like in red sauce, when you get a big chunk of sliver of garlic or something like that. I like the little spicy kick that you get if it's raw. So it's all about finding out what you like in your kitchen and then doing it your way.
Like it. Yeah, tell us, if you cook a dish with jalapenos, what do you make?
Yeah. I bet a lot of people say salsa.
Yes. My dad made a killer salsa.
Did he?
Mm-hmm. And it took him about 3 days to make because he would chop everything.
By hand?
Yes, and it was very
So it's like pico then?
Yes,
it was. Like fresh pico?
Yes. There was no real juiciness to it except for the lime.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's so good though. Like, especially when you have like a garden and you're cutting, like you're picking the tomatoes or the peppers and all that stuff.
Yes.
And then you just come in the house and cut them up. Like, one of the things I remember as a kid was tomato sandwiches is like a thing. You know, so it's like I would go out in the morning, pick the tomatoes and cucumbers, and then we would soak the cucumbers in vinegar. And I never knew why my grandmother did that. And I didn't realize until like after I go to culinary school that I was making day pickles. Like, we were just making a quick pickle, that's it. And then slicing the tomato. Marco Pierre White says that fruit is best picked from the tree because the sun is gently cooking it. So.
Who's Marco Pierre White?
He's the guy who trained Gordon Ramsay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, I hope so. Most people have. So you see, our yogurt sauce is very chunky, and that's what we want. It's what you're going to see too is like we're going to add a little bit of salt. I'm going to get you to help me with that.
I would love to.
But you're going to see that the onion and stuff is going to release a little bit of liquid as it kind of sits, especially with the salt, because salt pulls liquid out of things.
Okay.
So it'll get a little bit saucier, but you don't really want it much saucier. I like it nice and thick and chunky, and that way you kind of get all those flavors in every bite.
Put it right here so I can see a little bit better. There we go. Able to see how pretty that is.
Yeah. And this, we're just going to reserve.
Okay.
And the other thing we're going to work on right now, I'm going to give these kebabs a little quarter turn.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, those are so nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got to turn too. So what we're going to do is we've got some flatbread. And by all means, you could just eat this as it is. You could put it on a salad. You could do a bunch of stuff with it. We're going to actually toast up a little flatbread that they sell here and kind of make like a sandwich, like I talked about in the beginning, like a gyro or something like that.
Okay.
So these ones are Italian herb kind of crust. So they're kind of like, all of these kind of flatbreads like this are a little bit half cooked.
Sure.
You know, like kind of like par baked. So we did this with the naan a couple weeks ago.
We did.
We're gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna oil this pan up, get it nice and hot. And we're gonna just put this bread right down in there and let it do its thing.
Okay.
And that's just gonna get toasted up and kind of caramelized on the outside and give us more flavor and wake up all those beautiful seasonings that are in it as well.
I like to. You can do this dish in a variety of ways with rice, on a
You
salad.
You could it's really good with rice, or even like that little, I can't remember what it's called. Not orzo, but it's like the little pasta that's kind of like short little sticks.
Okay. I'm like, I have small kids. Macaroni.
No.
I know. It's
No. You know what I'm talking about though? Like you get it sometimes.
Yeah.
And they serve it like rice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check these ones in the middle.
Fusilli? No.
Just to see if they're done, because I got a sneaking suspicion that they are. And they're really close, so that's good.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna kind of slide them over. Like I promised, we're gonna move those guys to the middle so they get a little bit more love and heat. And my cheese is wanting to fall off of that one a lot. That's all right. Like I said, not a big deal. So this guy right here, we're gonna turn up, and we're just gonna kind of see, yeah, we're already starting to get some color. That's what we want. We want to kind of get all those flavors woken up and also kind of get the flour itself to caramelize a little bit, because that's If we had flame, I would love to do that and love to get like some char on it. That would be great. Because like naan bread, that's one of the things I love is that tandoori ovens are so hot that they get this like crispy edges.
Right.
They get those black blisters. Like that stuff to me is just so good.
So good.
But
This dish you can't really leave unattended either. You need to be all hands on deck the whole time.
yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, the kebabs, you can kind of let them do their thing. You could,
Right.
If you were outside, you could just close the grill and walk away,
Sure.
come back. Because I think that most of the trouble we're having with the cheese is because we're having to move them so much because we're on the grill pan.
Right.
But if we were in a real grill, I mean, you close a grill, it gets up to like 500 degrees pretty quickly.
Okay.
So all those things are good. And like I said, again, this is just like your knife cuts. Like, it doesn't look that pretty right here. This one's gorgeous for whatever reason, but the other ones kind of want to play games. That's okay. It's going to taste delicious. Oh, yeah. And that's what we're looking for right there.
That's nice.
I'm actually going to get the plate because we're going to get
Okay.
ready.
Let's do
We're gonna
this.
be ready for
Excuse
one.
me. I'm hungry. As always.
Yeah, this one's going to, I might have to cut you a bite off because it's going to be kind of
Okay.
hard for you to try to
That's
eat this
fine.
whole thing like a taco. So I'm actually going to take this guy out now. Nice little char. Put this guy in. Turn it down.
Okay.
And what we're going to do is take a spoon. We got some leftover Schug, right? Put that right down.
Yes.
Kind of smear it around. Not too much. Obviously, you can always add more. You don't want to add too much in the beginning and blow your palate out getting too hot. So what we're
Okay.
going to do here is going to be kind of a nice little action shot overhead. We're going to lay that skewer right on there. Make sure we get the
nice.
rest of our, I just breathed in some cooking
Yeah, right.
cooked jalapeno. And then we're going to take our tongs and just push. And just that easy, it should
looks
pop
good.
right off.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. And then we're going to fold it up, just like I promised, like a taco, right?
Okay.
We're going to take our yogurt sauce,
Ooh, this looks amazing.
a little spread of that on top,
All right.
and then we save those few pieces of cilantro just for this purpose.
While you're flipping that last piece, and before you add the final touches on, I want to let Amanda Roberts know that you're the winner of our $50 gift card. Thank you
Nice.
so much for asking a question. We will get in touch with you and send you that gift card. Thank you.
So then we're going to put a few little leaves just like that,
Okay.
and that's it. There you have it. That's
Looks
going to be,
amazing.
you know, and you could do obviously several of these, but this we're just making a certain plate.
Okay, I like it. I
gonna-
love it.
So just as I promised, I'll cut you a bite off.
Okay, you don't have to.
You sure?
Yeah, I
Go
got
for
this.
it.
I mean, I don't want to ruin it, but like I always feel bad because I take such a big bite. Do I?
That's
don't
okay.
know.
We
No, I
always,
do.
I always make samples for everybody.
Yes,
so
he sure does.
Everybody
So-
gets a bite.
That's a good point, Chef. If you want a free sample, if you want to try the food, come to the Earth Fair in Cumming, Georgia. We'd love to see you. We'd love for you to sit in our studio audience. We'd love for you to meet Chef, ask questions in person. But thank you for asking questions online. We hope to see you back here next Monday,
Yes.
same place, same time. Thank you so much to Springer Mountain Farms. Thank you to Earth Fair for having us. And I don't know, we needed a catchphrase. Keep cooking or something? Or
Yeah, I mean, I love
I know.
keep cooking.
All right, keep
Because
cooking.
I like people to keep cooking. Like
Yeah.
I want to see what you're making at home.
We do. We want to see what you're making at home. Send us those pics. Thanks, everyone. Have a great week.